line is there a problem, significant problem with illicit drug use amongst AFL players?
Do some of our players take illicit drugs in the off-season? Yes. Is it less than the average across society in that age group? Yes. But we are in partnership with the players to get to the best model we can, to educate and help them to get to zero if we could. I don't know that that's realistic, but the hysteria is a challenging one because this is a policy that is in partnership with the players. It's as tough as any in the world, and it's distinct from WADA. It feels like people in hysteria can't even see the wood from the trees. If a player gets tested positive on match day to any illicit drugs or performance enhancing, either they're out for 4 years. This is a policy that actually says you get one chance, and we'll work with you and rehabilitate you, and the second you miss 4 matches. And this is a voluntary policy that's incredibly tough. So we've got a group of young men who've got the same vulnerabilities as anyone. They are statistically less vulnerable than the rest of society, but they have their challenges, and we've got a policy I think is responsible, mature, is new, is tougher than the old one. Let's give it a chance to see what it does, whether we can actually continue to improve the behaviours even more.
You're a dad, you've got 3 kids and one on the way. Congratulations, I read.
Thank you.
That's anybody's business but yours. But if one of your kids is playing as an 18-year-old, playing league footy, and they're tested positive under this policy, you as a dad would want to know, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean, if I wanted to know, would I be hair testing my children?
No,
I think where you've gone there, Neil, is the perfect place to be, which is, as a parent, how would you want to deal with this issue with your children? So when I see these people, these zealots talking about zero tolerance and outing them, I think that's insane because it's not what the experts say, it's not what the police say, and it's not what any parent that I know would do with their child. So that is the best lens I can actually have to look at this through. What is the responsible thing as a parent? And in this way, in partnership, I see our roles in this broader sense like that. Everyone talks about brand protection and everything else. That's rubbish. It's the responsible way to deal with a society-wide issue with our playing group. And it's managing the welfare and the rights of that individual player. And then there's a point where it's actually taking up their responsibilities to their club, to their game, and being true to that. And they get one chance. And the second strike, Neil, they're out for 4 matches.
And it's public.
And they're public. Now, that is a balanced, mature, negotiated
this
position.
One doesn't. This out of season thing doesn't count as a strike, does it?
No, because that's part of what was negotiated. Because this is their hair testing over the course of their number of weeks off, and it's to help us improve, to get information, to have better discussions, to inform the policy, and we'll keep iterating it. But let's actually get a chance to work, and let's actually put their hat on as a parent with the way they view this, rather than just piling in uninformed, and also, I think, just barracking for a story.
But it's still, well, yeah, that might be a bit unfair. But it still doesn't answer that point that if it was one of your kids in that situation, I'm not going to have my kids hair tested, but if they test positive by the AFL or in their workplace or anything, I want to know because I want to be involved in helping them.
Yeah, and if they do get positive, tested in their workplace, they are worked with. And
I want to know. I'm the dad. I want to know.
Yeah, well, if your child puts it on this, they want the parents to be notified, let's do that. But what they do is they talk to the doctor and they have other helping people around them to talk through this and work through them. And that's the model that's been adopted because this is actually a policy in their workplace, not at home.
So could a player put on his form, you can tell my parents if it's positive?
Of course.
They don't do that.
This is where we're at. I mean, this is a voluntary policy, Neil, and these players have to consent to what they want to do. Now,
you agree this is unfair to Collingwood, what's happened?
Yes, I do, yeah.
There are other clubs as bad?
No, I'm not going to comment on the numbers, but I think that what we've acknowledged is that this is an issue and has been for some years. And I went out last year, Neil, to say we need to toughen up the policy because the policy we have, I don't believe, was strong enough, was not working. But let's deal with the issue at hand. We've got a new policy. The issue still exists, and we continue to work forward and iterate, but let's get this one time to see how it goes and whether we actually change behaviours with this policy.